Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the heaviest jams to ever make us raise our fists and yell. Number 30, See You in Hell, Grim Reaper. The British band may have been the butt of some jokes back in the days of MTV's Beavis and Butthead, but don't sleep on this new wave of British heavy metal institution. Grim Reaper combined deceptively simple arrangements with memorable riffs and caterwauling vocals to provide a perfect starting gate for neo-metalheads. Nick Bocott leads the charge with a main riff that's catchier than the common cold, while vocalist Steve Grimmett howls at the moon with reckless abandon. See You in Hell doesn't pretend to be anything more than the sum of its parts. A great meat and potatoes metal song that flies high the flag of stainless steel. Number 29, Over the Wall, Testament. Much has been said about the big four of American thrash metal, but what about the groups that comprise the second tier? Testament just has to sit among the very top of this genre's 1%, a technical masterclass of precision and skill. Guitarist Alex Skolnick in particular is a generational talent, a man whose six-string wizardry allows songs like Over the Wall to sound both anthemic and combustive. The song races right out of the starting gate with reckless abandon as Over the Wall becomes not only a centerpiece for Skolnick, but also lead vocalist Chuck Billy. The melodic midsection in particular has become something of a sing-along set piece for Testament, a live highlight that's become a favorite of the band's fans. Number 28, Elimination, Overkill. The American thrash metal train rolls on, this time with New Jersey's finest, Overkill. These working-class heroes have become something of a metallic institution, thanks to a career that's endured over 40 years and counting. Elimination is taken from the group's fourth LP, and their first with producer Terry Date. The latter's bone-dry production style allows the song's riffs to crunch like milkless cornflakes, while also allowing D.D. Verney's nasty bass tone to rattle fans' speakers. Elimination wouldn't quite be the same without singer Bobby Blitz Ellsworth's captivating shriek, however, and it's the man's charismatic presence that assists in elevating Overkill's global metal stock into elite company. Number 27, Fighting the World, Man-O-War. New York's Man-O-War cares little about whether or not doubters question their over-the-top theatrics and macho posturing. All this band cares about is pleasing their legions of fans around the world that crave some seriously muscular metal. Fighting the World is taken from an album of the same name and signified something of a commercial breakthrough for Man-O-War. Now people keep asking if we're gonna change. I look them in the eye, tell them, now why? Sure, the band's cult status was assured, but Fighting the World felt like a call to arms anthem that spoke to more than just the knowing faithful. This was a measured, mid-paced halberd to the face of false metal, leaning heavily upon singer Eric Adams' intense power and unconquerable passion. Number 26, I Want Out, Halloween. Heavy metal possesses a myriad of subgenres, with only diehard fans being able to differentiate all of the subtle differences. Germany's Halloween strode the creative lines between speed, thrash, and power metal, and their Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2 LP helped formulate the band's lasting legacy. The title track was an epic, to be sure, but it's the immediacy of I Want Out that perhaps serves as Halloween's defining metal moment. That's This is a song where riffs, vocal melodies, and an all-time classic chorus create layers like a German chocolate cake, alternating the sweet and the savory in a manner that feels impossible to deny. Number 25. Stargazer, Rainbow. Historians often differ as to whether or not Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, or Rainbow were the first heavy metal band. One thing for sure, however, Stargazer helped codify many of the genre's most powerful and glorious trappings. There's an aura of mysticism associated with this song, as the guitar of former Deep Purple leader Richie Blackmore weaves its magic spell. Elsewhere, Ronnie James Dio is Blackmore's partner in sorcery, a captivating presence on the mic that allows Stargazer to enter the hallowed halls of metal magic. Long may it rain. Number 24. Du Hast, Rammstein. The Neue Deutsche Härte discography of Rammstein contains a veritable laundry list of bangers, including Feuer frei from the band's landmark Mutter album.
Du hast mich.
However, fans could also point to the chart success of Du Hast as a point where commercial radio really began paying attention to Rammstein. This was no mean feat either, considering that the pop chart landscape of 1997 was largely unreceptive to heavy metal. Du Hast has endured, however, and found an audience that eagerly lapped up Rammstein's heavy riffs and martial rhythms, juxtaposed against an almost gothic atmosphere. This was an industrial revolution in heavy metal that helped keep the genre afloat during difficult weather. Number 23. 10,000 Fists, Disturbed. Chicago's Disturbed is a modern metal band that just seemed to improve over time. 10,000 Fists was the title track of Disturbed's third LP and proved without a shadow of a doubt that the success of their debut album, The Sickness, wasn't a fluke. What's most remarkable about the song is how it represents Disturbed's progression as a band. Gone are the gimmicky vocalizations of The Sickness, and in their place, a soaring and commanding register from frontman David Draymond. Elsewhere, the guitar playing has become significantly more dynamic and impressive, perhaps being influenced by European artists such as Sweden's Soilwork. It all comes together in solid fashion on 10,000 Fists, and Disturbed would only improve further from this point. Number 22. The Toxic Waltz, Exodus. The Bonded by Blood debut from Exodus is inarguably one of 80s thrash metal's finest moments, but it was The Toxic Waltz from 1989 that helped increase the Bay Area band's international profile. Lead singer Steve Zetro Souza possesses a screech worthy of Cobra Commander, while the song's lyrics possess a knowing sense of irony and humor. The riffs, however, are no joke as the duo of Gary Holt and Rick Hunolt unleash licks that punish and please in equal measure. The mosh part that occurs as the Toxic Waltz leaves its solo section is the stuff of legend, while Zetro, for his part, commands that Exodus's audience destroy each other with extreme prejudice. To paraphrase the band, it's good, friendly, violent fun. Number 21. I Wanna Be Somebody, Wasp. The 1984 self-titled debut from Wasp was something unique and special from the Los Angeles explosive glam metal scene. That record, particularly its lead single, I Wanna Be Somebody, combined shock rock excess with songwriting chops that were catchy, but also a little menacing. This was a band that felt sleazy, while I Wanna Be Somebody also worked as something of a heavy metal anthem. The arrangement is economical, but possesses a killer main riff, while frontman Blackie Lawless hollers like a delirious deviant. Wasp weren't just a batch of Sunset Strip pretty boys, but instead came to play with an arsenal of tricks that made them very dangerous against their competition. Number 20, All We Are, Warlock. The landscape of mid-80s heavy metal wasn't exactly where one might expect to find one of the most dynamic female singers of her generation. But then again, Doro Pesch was nobody's wallflower.
All we are all we need. All we are.
Instead, Doro pioneered heavy metal in her native Germany with the band Warlock before embarking upon a solo career that continues to this day. All We Are is a true heavy metal anthem, taken from Warlock's most commercially successful album, Triumph and Agony.
All we are, all we are, all we need.
Doro's vocals are immense and charismatic, while the song's arrangement balances the catchiness of hair metal with a riff attack that's burly enough to easily stand toe-to-toe with the boys. All We Are is a rallying call to arms that still gets us pumped. Number 19, Balls to the Wall, Accept. Speaking of German heavy metal, another formative act from that country was Accept, who laid plenty of groundwork for younger bands to follow in their wake. In fact, Accept's early speed and aggression heavily influenced the thrash metal scene, thanks to rippers like Fast as a Shark, Metal Hearts, and our personal pick, Balls to the Wall. The track works in a mid-paced mold, driving home a main riff that frankly defies you to not headbang to its earworm-level catchiness. Meanwhile, the middle section features multiple breakdowns, chanting, and enough bass-led sing-alongs to satisfy any heavy metal maniac. Oh, and lead singer Udo Dirkschneider? He has a voice that can peel paint from the walls, which is always a plus in our book. Number 18, Burn in Hell, Twisted Sister. Twisted Sister was always sort of an outlier within the world of 1980s hair metal, with the band's early material echoing their influences from 70s glam and glitter rock.
What do you wanna do with your life?
I wanna rock.
Their 1984 album Stay Hungry was a breakthrough success, combining that early aggression with streamlined and economic songwriting. Burn in Hell also hit at the perfect time, when the perceived satanic content of heavy metal was frightening parents across the United States. Burn in Hell has its cake and eats it too, playing coy with cheeky lyrical content while also possessing inspired riffing. Dee Snider also proves underrated as a frontman and singer, absolutely belting it out from the first note to last.
Take a good look in your heart, tell me what do you say?
If this is hell, then hell ain't a bad place to be. Number 17, Abigail, King Diamond. The legacy of Danish singer and songwriter King Diamond was secure after the dissolution of his former band, Merciful Fate. More on them in a minute, with legions of fans flocking to the King's unique and idiosyncratic falsetto vocals. The King Diamond solo band, however, would delve into even more theatrical and conceptual storytelling, with each studio effort working simultaneously as heavy metal arts and performance art. Abigail is perhaps the most actualized of these efforts, a fan favorite LP whose title track is bombastic, melodic, and even melancholic. There's a profound sadness to the story told within the Abigail album's lyrics, while the song itself boasts perhaps one of guitarist Andy LaRocque's most memorable riffs. Number 16, Curse of the Pharaohs, Merciful Fate. We just mentioned King Diamond's previous band, Merciful Fate, earning some real deal fan recognition with their studio output. How real deal, you may ask? Well, how about Metallica? The heavy metal icons were profoundly influenced by Merciful Fate early on in their careers, and even covered this track, Curse of the Pharaohs, in medley form on their album Garage Inc. It's easy to see why Metallica were so impressed too, because the guitar work from Hank Sherman and Michael Denner was truly on another level. It's almost criminal how talented the pair was as a guitar team, since not only does Curse of the Pharaohs contain an instantly catchy opening riff, but harmony soloing and relentless rhythmic aggression. It's truly one of the greats. Number 15, Witching Hour, Venom. Behold and bear witness to the insidious roots of heavy metal's darkest and most mysterious subgenre, black metal. The new wave of British heavy metal, from which Venom first emerged, was used to dabbling with occult themes, but these lads from Newcastle went all in with their satanic imagery. The band also shunned subtlety in their tri-pronged attack, operating in an intentionally hyperactive and crude, some might say sloppy manner, that sought to offend and excite in equal measure. Witching Hour is blazingly fast for the time and merciless in its intent to pound you over the head and absolutely kick your ass. Meanwhile, the theatrics of Kronos, Mantis, and Abaddon would inspire legions of corpse-painted black metal bands to get even more extreme in their wake. Number 14, Am I Evil? Diamond Head. We couldn't have a more drastic contrast of styles from our last pick to our next entry, Diamond Head's Am I Evil? Both songs arrived from the new wave of British heavy metal movement, yet Diamond Head's influences and execution are clearly more indebted to the majesty of classic rock like Led Zeppelin than the simplicity of Venom. Am I Evil even opens up with a tribute to the classical piece The Planets by Gustav Holst, before breaking into a righteous heavy metal thunder. Diamond Head hang their hat on the song's epic main riff and Brian Tatler's guitar pyrotechnics, while singer Sean Harris weaves a tale of true wickedness within the lyrics. It's classy, proper heavy metal at its old school best. Number 13. Arise, Sepultura. At the crossroads between death metal and thrash metal, there you will find the sonic steel that is the classic Sepultura sound. These Brazilian legends grew from an underground black metal career to surprising mainstream success with their albums Chaos AD and Roots. It's the middle era that's the true sweet spot for Sepultura fans, however, with The Rise serving as its creative zenith. The song is just 5 years removed from the groove metal of Roots, yet couldn't sound more different, defining death/thrash perfection in a little over 3 minutes. Max Cavalera's vocals are guttural, yet decipherable, while his brother Igor counteracts the ripping guitars with a simple, effective groove. Not a second is wasted, and every moment kicks maximum ass. Number 12. Pull Me Under, Dream Theater. The world of progressive metal rarely, if ever, achieves crossover chart success. However, this is exactly what happened with Pull Me Under, a surprising hit single from Dream Theater's sophomore effort, Images and Words. The song was, in the band's own words, a fluke. Yet there's nothing surprising about the level of talent laid out on display here in Pull Me Under. It retains a constant level of excitement, despite its 8+ minute running time, with chugging heaviness contrasting with an amount of melody that's nothing short of anthemic. The whole band works every angle, fires every creative cylinder, and drives home unlimited energy throughout every mini movement achieved by Pull Me Under and its progressive metal mastery. Number 11. Caught in a Mosh, Anthrax. There's traditionally a big four of the American thrash genre that come into the overarching heavy metal conversation. So much so that a series of live events celebrating those four artists were held in places like New York City and the city of Sofia in Bulgaria. Anthrax opened up those shows, and a number of songs were constant in their set list, including this one, Caught in a Mosh. The track is taken from what's arguably the band's finest hour, 1987's Among the Living, and instantly catches listeners' attention thanks to Frank Bello's iconic opening bass line.
Talking to you is like laughing with one hand. Come on, what is it? What is it?
From there, it's a thrashterpiece of intense drumming, hardcore-influenced guitar riffs, and a breakdown section that gets bodies moving every single time. Number 10. Holy Diver, Dio. There are a million moments from the career of Ronnie James Dio that could have made this list, from his stint fronting Black Sabbath to the mini-movie that was the video clip for his song, Rock and Roll Children. However, the world would likely point to Holy Diver as one of Dio's most commercially successful songs from what became a defining album for the singer. Holy Diver revels in the sort of medieval and magical atmosphere for which Dio would become known.
Shiny diamonds, lucky eyes of a cat in the black and blue. Something's coming for you.
To the point where a dragon slaying spot was once included in the band's stage show. Meanwhile, the melody is set on full display, while Holy Diver's mid-paced groove allows future Def Leppard guitarist Vivian Campbell to show off his amazing chops. Number 9. Cemetery Gates, Pantera. Pantera was undoubtedly one of the most influential heavy metal bands of the last 30 years, laying groundwork for the immensely popular power groove sound that would dominate after the group abandoned their hair metal roots. Cowboys from Hell signified this sort of sonic rebirth, an amplification of their previous album Power Metal, and a true coming of age for Pantera's still new singer Philip Anselmo. The album's title track served as a fearsome call to arms, but it's perhaps Cemetery Gates that's the best distillation of Pantera's new and exciting sound. Complete with the genius guitar work of Dimebag Darrell, it's a rousing mixture of heavy metal's past and future. A power ballad that's all power, yet retaining all of the emotion required to remain a stone-cold classic. Number 8. Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, Megadeth. Megadeth exists as perhaps the most technical example of thrash metal from the genre's big four acts, a clinical exercise in how to perform the genre with surgical precision. To further that end, the band's fourth album, Rust in Peace, blew minds back in 1990 with exactly how complex and thoughtful Megadeth had become as songwriters and arrangers. Holy Wars, The Punishment Due is a prime testament to that idea, as it's basically two songs in one. The first being a fast and melodic speed metal exercise before getting very, very heavy. The Punishment Due section slows things down to a crushing mid-pace before picking things up with an array of mind-melding lead guitars. We've never heard an ode to Marvel's The Punisher sound quite like this. Number 7. Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne. Sometimes you've just got to give the people what they want. Former Black Sabbath frontman Ozzy Osbourne did this when he departed from the formative heavy metal legends for a solo career, delivering the genre a fresh and commercially viable shot in the arm. Crazy Train is just one of those universal Ozzy songs that everyone knows, yet it was elevated by the X factor that was the once-in-a-lifetime guitar talent of Randy Rhoads. Rhoads' classically influenced playing made the arrangement of Crazy Train iconic, while at the same time being easily digestible for so many different kinds of people. Yet the actual work on display is so dizzyingly awesome and impressive, there's no doubt that Ozzy and Randy were truly inspired when composing Crazy Train. Number 6. Ace of Spades, Motorhead. Motorhead is another band with such a rich musical history that it proved very difficult to choose just one song to stand out from the rest. Killed by Death, Overkill, Iron Fist, and more all proved to be worthy candidates. But sometimes your first instinct is the best, and that instinct was Ace of Spades.
The only gun I need is
Lemmy's blower bass kicks the whole shebang off in classic fashion, as Phil "Filthy Animal" Taylor's double-kick drums sound the call for Fast Eddie Clarke's riffing to take charge and lead the way to glory.
No, I'm going to lose. The gambling's for fools, but that's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever.
It's a simple but outstandingly effective example of overdriven rock and roll done to excess and performed with charisma, style, and sleazy charm to spare. Number 5. Angel of Death, Slayer. Slayer's Rain and Blood is widely regarded as one of, if not the finest examples of thrash metal ever recorded by one of the Big Four. It's easy to see why, thanks to songs like Raining Blood and our next pick, Angel of Death. The world wasn't ready when Slayer unleashed this beast, so unstoppable was their level of aggression. It's not enough that the song rips out of the starting gate with a riff that instantly sets every nerve alive, but then there's a matter of what occurs at about a minute 38. The bottom drops out of our world when Angel of Death lets loose with an earth-shattering breakdown, before racing down to hell with frenzied soloing and drumming. Killer. Number 4. The Trooper, Iron Maiden. The music of Iron Maiden is many things to many different people, but one constant behind their creative process has always been the adaptation of historical events into their lyrics. The Trooper might be the most beloved example of this. A song that combines the bombast of heavy metal with the story of Britain's infamous Charge of the Light Brigade during the Crimean War.
Take my life, but I'll take his tail. The man must get by, I'll run the fell.
Although Run to the Hills is just as well known,
White man came across the sea. He brought us pain and misery.
the Trooper presents Maiden's musical attack in a near perfect way. The guitars of Dave Murray and Adrian Smith harmonize, bassist Steve Harris gallops along with drummer Nico McBrain, while singer Bruce Dickinson proves once again why he's on the short list of heavy metal's all-time greatest frontmen. Number 3, Painkiller, Judas Priest. Speaking of that short list, is there any heavy metal singer who quite exemplifies all of the trappings of the genre more than Rob Halford? For many fans, he's unequivocally the voice of metal, with his band Judas Priest also serving as judge, jury, and executioner against any pretenders to the throne. Painkiller might be the band's heaviest moment, too, a reaction to the rising popularity of thrash metal and a promise that the old guard was not going to be left in the dust. Painkiller is overdriven and excessive, with steel polish to a razor-sharp edge that cuts with killing riffs and a relentless rhythm. Halford screams like a demon possessed, announcing to the world that they were not going quietly into that good night. Number 2, Master of Puppets, Metallica. Knock knock, say who's there. Surprise! It's Metallica with the greatest thrash metal song ever. Bad jokes aside, many metal fans would be hard-pressed to argue against how Master of Puppets clocks in at nearly 9 minutes in length, yet never feels boring or drawn out. Instead, every riff has its place, and every place its riff, as Metallica elevates thrash into a true work of art. Master of Puppets possesses movements and mood, taking listeners through a journey of one man's addiction via a song that's as aggressive, melodic, and memorable as anything offered by Metallica's many peers. Enter Sandman may be the band's biggest single, but Master of Puppets laid down greatness back in '86 as a true thrash metal masterpiece. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath. We can't imagine what it must have felt like to have dropped the needle on Black Sabbath's self-titled debut from 1970 and actually hear the birth of heavy metal right in front of our eyes and ears. That was a very good year for the Sabs, as songs like War Pigs,
Gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses.
Paranoid, and Iron Man all burrowed their way into the DNA strands of a fresh new genre. But there's just something special about this opening track that continues to send shivers up our spines so many years later. The tolling bells of doom, that doomy pace, Tony Iommi's ominous riffs, and Ozzy's harrowing wail, there's just no getting around it. This is capital H, capital M, heavy metal. Oh Lord, yeah. What does heavy metal mean to you? Let us know in the comments. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.